Hey there guys, Brickerter here, and I have been gone for a while. We're back with another DBN, and truth be told, I have not played Dirty Bomb for a while, and I'm very sorry that I'm getting out this DBN like 2 days after the update has come. It's because I've been playing another game and think of setting up another channel, which you'll hear more about if it happens. But that's beside the point. You're here to learn about Dirty Bomb. So, we got quite the update recently. If you've been playing, I'd argue it's probably the biggest one since whatchamacallit, the Containment War, which was way back in like October of last year, and it is called the Classy Art Hole Update. So finally we got Gallery. I don't know if anybody was in the beta for that. Gallery was, for like a week or a few days, maybe it was just a weekend. Yeah, it was test weekend. They put out the new execution map, Gallery. It was unpainted, and they had another map, Dockyard, just to try out to make sure everything was okay. So Gallery's out, but Dockyard's not. That speaks loads to me. I didn't really like Dockyard. I didn't really get any feedback on that like what other people thought, but in my opinion it was way defender biased. So once you start getting the EV, once you start it up, it goes down this really long stretch, right, where it's a super wide road, and it's just like ambush material. Nobody goes out and pushes the EV on the attacker team because they're going to get wrecked by the snipers. So I thought it was just way too defender biased, just way too easy for the defenders to keep the EV where it should be, because you could just get 2 snipers covering it, even if they were like crappy snipers, and the EV had so long to go through that canal, it was just impossible to get it. So that's why I think that's gone, but could be any reason. So with Gallery, it's an execution map. It's got the usual bomb pylons A and B, defenders are close, spawn closer to them. There are 3 routes you could go through Gallery, which is the middle, I believe. Go through the smokehouse, which is on the left for attackers, and the skate park, which is on the right. Pretty cool map. I've been playing a lot of it. That's actually what the footage is of right now. This match wasn't very good. It was kind of close, but I was getting ticked at the team like usual. But the it seems like a pretty good map. I like it. There's lots of routes. I've got the basic routes down, but I'm still kind of confused. I've never gone to skate park. I always go Gallery and rarely smokehouse. So it also kind of seems like it's a lot more open than the other execution maps. So if you're a sniper, there's some pretty good lanes to cover. That's on one side, actually, on Smokehouse. On the others, though, it's actually pretty close quarters. There's also a really neat, they have a lot more routes to go through, so like, on Gallery, the Gallery route, there's this one place where you can go to the left and climb through this vent and go behind the defenders and just, like, wreck them. So, it's really neat. I really like it. There's so many ways to flank. Of course, if you don't have a full team of 6 people, then it can really affect us, like, AFK and stuff like that. It just makes it super hard. But, whatever. Still a great map. Then we have crafting. Now this is a big update. Crafting has not been changed, or the way you trade up has not been changed since Dirty Bombers released beta like May something last year. So crafting, instead of trading up, like combining the cards, pretty much, because that seemed like to take forever, I'm pretty sure it's the same conversion rate. You pretty much take cards, you drag them over the spot to recycle them into, I don't know what it's called, crafting bits, metal or something. But, and then it takes a certain amount of metal to get a gold, a certain amount of metal to get a cobalt. I don't know if the rates are the same. If they are, that's fine. It's just, the rates meaning 3 lead equals a iron or whatever. But it makes it seem like it's less time, Instead of having all these cards in your inventory, you can just recycle them. So it's kind of neat. You don't have all these annoying leads. So they're pretty cool. I like it. Another cool thing about this is that the guns or whatever, how it's always completely RNG, 1 out of 9 chance you got the loadout you wanted if you wanted one of the loadouts from the 9 loadouts possible for each merc. Now they have this thing with the crafting called weapon kits, and apparently you can only get them from arsenal crates. Arsenal crates are amazing. And a weapon kit, essentially, you can pick the weapon for the character you want to craft. You can choose which their primary weapon is, which is very useful because you're kind of beating the RNG then. Now you've narrowed it down to a 1 in 3 chance. And I appreciate that a lot, because in lots of mercs there's primaries I don't like, and primaries I do like, so this is going to be really cool. They also have crafting kits, or crafting packs, something like that. All that is it's simply, it takes credits to craft or whatever, or I was almost calling it trading up. It takes credits just like before, different credits depending on, what level of trade up it is. A crafting pack just lets it so you don't have to use those credits. Kind of neat, less useful, but let's see, we got new trinkets, which are pretty cool. There's a free one going on, I think it's now until July 11th, or I don't know the date. End of July? I can't remember, but it's the Graffiti Bite. This footage has me playing my Stoker with it. I might have been playing Thunder too, but it's got the Graffiti Bite in it. It's a pretty cool trinket, actually. Looks like they put a lot of work into it. They also have a new one out, the Totally Awesome Chicken. Apparently, they said this was a chain of restaurants around London. I live in America, so I know nothing about this, but it's $5, a little overpriced for me, but it's $5 in the store. Another cool thing, the next 2 weeks we have another event on top of an event called the Classics event. All this is doing is making the equipment cases have a gold band around them and making the gold come up. I'll show the rarities now. It's honestly not that much, but hey, it's worth it. I'm not gonna trash it because I'm happy. Comp is back finally. I don't know what they actually were doing with it. I haven't played it yet, which I probably should before saying that. But that's good because I kind of want to play comp. Nobody really plays comp in this game, and it should become a thing. It always takes like 5 minutes to find a match, and like I said, I was speaking of the problems with it. Like the last episode, it's like you live in the West US, and you put the server to West US, and then it takes like 10 minutes to find a match, and when it does, you're in a Zimbabwe server with like Australian kids, so it doesn't really work. Now we're getting back to the normal stuff that they usually update with weapon nerfs and such. They nerfed the BRs, very sad. If you guys didn't know, the BRs, the burst rifles, were very OP. The reason it took so long for them to nerf them is simply because the burst rifles an acquired taste. Lots of people are like, oh, I hate burst rifles, they're hard to use, it takes a lot of skill. I never really experienced that because my first marker I ever bought was Artie, and he has burst rifles for 2 out of 3 of his loadouts, and I got a gold one of his best BR, so I just always use burst rifles, and I just got good with them, and I didn't really notice the problem. I'm probably better with a burst rifle than an M4, but essentially that's why it was on the down low for so long, is because burst rifles apparently are hard to learn. But they nerfed them. It's not that much of a hard nerf. They just took it and they made the burst rifles, when they fire 3 bullets, boom, 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 they spaced out the bullets from each other a little bit, so it's less likely to hit all 3 on one person, because you could pretty much aim at somebody's head. ADS to keep the kick of the gun, and to ADS you stop the kick of the gun, and then you aim at somebody's head and you can hit all 3 in the head and they just die, so it was pretty OP. Another thing they're doing right now, which I kind of appreciate, is they're making pistols more viable against machine variants. So pretty much before, if there's a character that can get machine pistols or a normal pistol, you're always going to want the machine pistol variant, because it's just better chances. I think I still would want a machine pistol variant because it's just better chances to hit somebody, but they made the pistols more stronger all around, and I was feeling it in this execution match. As Thunder, you run out of ammo lots of times, because you're not an ammo-given character. And when you use your 1911, in my case, it's quite useful. Same with the Stoker. Super good, so I like it. Another cool thing that they finally put in, which is super useful and it needed to happen for execution matches, is the automatic kick votes with the system. So if you're idle for 60 seconds, like you're just sitting there for a whole minute, then you enable a kick vote against yourself, like the system just brings up a kick vote, and then if that's not passed in 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes, there's just an automatic kick. Thank goodness. 3 minutes is a lot of time for somebody to be sitting there, but AFKers just tick me off. I mean, sometimes, admittedly, I'll be in a game, I have to go do something really quick, that I forgot to do, like turn off the stove or something, but I'm glad that it will kick me, because I always feel bad. Like, if I've got to do something, I'm like, well, I should really exit out of that game, but I'm busy right now, so. And, you always got the people, it's especially bad in execution matches, when you have to have your 6 teammates there, or it has to be balanced, for it to work. Speaking of balance, they didn't fix balance, which kind of ticks me off. Right now, balance is kind of the way, when vote shuffles happen, which this needs to be fixed. When vote shuffles happen, it shuffles the team based on what matches were, whether in your past 4 or 5 matches, how many you won or lost. That doesn't really seem like a good idea to me, because you could have say 8 level 4s in a server. Not saying that level 4s are horrible people or anything, they're just learning the game, okay? And say they won their last 5 matches, all of them, because they had really level 50s on their team, right? They're all going to be they're going to be spaced out among the teams, right? And so you can have that with a higher level player. A high level player could have lost all the previous matches, and he throw him on the team with another high level player because they also lost all their matches, and then it's just well, now we have all the higher level players. So you can't really base it on level. People have said that. I think you somewhat can. People are always like, well, level doesn't mean skill. Well, in Dirty Bomb, I honestly think it does. It has such a hard learning curve that level, in the end, really does mean skill. It's kind of it's a curve, okay? You always have the 1 to level 10s, okay? That are just learning the game. Once you get level 10, you know the basics. Maybe you're not good. Then from level 10 to 30 is when you get good. At level 30, as it keeps going above, you will get better, but I think the curve is much slower. So the most dramatic increase in skill is from level 1 to 10, then from level 10 to like 30 or somewhere around there. You see, it's different for everybody, so they gotta make it general, but I wish they would make an algorithm like that based it on level, because I personally think in this game, I've never really seen like a level 10 that just destroys the other level 30s. I just think it's too much up to level, and people need to realize that with this game, the level represents the time you've played the game, which almost directly represents skill because it's a hard game to learn. So I think for this it would be appropriate. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think for this game it would be appropriate to base shuffling on level. Okay, something else I changed. This is kind of minor, but I did notice it in this execution match, and it works very well. Enemy gunfire is now louder than friendly. It's only slightly, but it's when, you know, your friends are across the map and you can't tell that they're getting slaughtered or they're slaughtering. It's much more useful because if you're gunfire back and forth, you know, on maybe the left side back, you know, and you know where that is, you can slightly tell when it's enemy or friendly. It's still kind of hard because you're just going to run there anyways. But, yeah, that's great. So, sorry guys for not uploading in a while, but I hope you go out there, you play Dirty Bomb, not rage at your team, you get all those cases and get better chances for golds, and have fun with that. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Come on, you guys. Oh, nice. That was some work. Oh, you guys should have kept with me.